Welcome to Under the Armour, where we'll take a look back at a few of the less talked about aspects of Jackie Chan's Armour of God. First, the director. Originally, Eric Tsang was to be the film's director, and indeed he did handle those duties up until Jackie's near-fatal accident in Yugoslavia early in the shooting schedule, which put the production on hold for several weeks while Jackie recovered from his emergency brain surgery. Eric not only directed the castle escape sequence, but also additional scenes such as the fashion model massacre sequence, unusually violent for a Chan film of the time. But due to scheduling conflicts, by the time Jackie recovered, Eric was forced to move on to his other commitments, and Jackie took over to finish the film, directing the remainder himself. Some superstitious executives at Golden Harvest felt Jackie's accident might have been due to his cutting his hair short for the role. Jackie had always worn it fairly long until this project, but as soon as he cuts his hair, he has this terrible accident. Jackie had another reason for the accident, but more on that later. He has said in interviews that wearing his hair a little long looks more interesting and dynamic in action scenes because it adds movement, but he was willing to try something new for Armour of God. Anyway, when he recovered, Golden Harvest insisted Chan grow his hair back out like he normally wore it. Of course, Jackie really had no choice. He had to do that anyway to cover the fresh scar on the right side of his head. This hair length issue now caused continuity errors with previously shot scenes that were supposed to take place later in the film. For that reason, those additional scenes directed by Tsang had to be cut. Not to get too technical, but all of the early Eric Tsang directed footage was lensed in the Academy ratio, full frame, and matted to his preferred ratio 1:8:5 for theatrical projection. And since Tsang's already shot footage would not look good blown up and then cropped to a widescreen 2:3:5 aspect, Chan was forced to shoot the remainder of the film in Eric's open matte 1:8:5 ratio, typically more suited to dramas and comedies than sprawling action adventures. But Jackie was not about to reshoot the entire castle scene already in the can. When the film was released on full-frame home video, sometimes known as standard, instead of the sides of an image being cropped off to fit a standard 1980s television, like in a film shot 2:3:5 widescreen, here you actually saw more of the image on home video. The matte was not used, and the full vertical image of the film was seen. Without matting off the top and bottom of the image like in a theater, the viewer was able to see a few things that weren't intended to be seen, like these trees next to the balloon supposedly in the air, or this nearly hidden stagehand rolling boulders at Jackie. Now let's talk about that accident that led to Jackie assuming control of the project. Here's the man himself discussing it with Jonathan Ross in 1989.
But with all the precautions in the world, accidents can happen. And while filming Armour of God in Yugoslavia, Jackie suffered a near-fatal one. For Jackie, this seemed a comparatively easy stunt, and take one went without a hitch, but he insisted on going for it again, with disastrous consequences. Let me see that again. What actually happened then? So the stunt is you have to get to the wall, yeah?
Yes, I was missed. Then
you missed the branch?
Yeah, from the camera, another camera angle was here. If the cameraman can push me a little bit, I can save. But he take the camera, run away.
He'd rather save the camera than you. That's not. Does he still work with you, or you fire him?
No, he's Yugoslavian.
Well, that's the Yugoslavians for you.
Yeah, if Hong Kong cameramen, they know.
They catch you.
They catch me. He just moved the camera.
What did you do? You hit your head?
I hit my head in the rock.
And how seriously were you injured?
Right now I think nothing, but at that time all my stuntmen crying, my manager crying.
I read in one of the newspaper reports that there was some of your skull lodged near your brain after this. Is that true? Some of the bone near your brain?
Now have a hole. They take off the bone, they put the plastic.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
There's a hole.
there's a hole in your head.
You feel this.
Now I know why you can't get insured. Yeah, yeah, it's vibrating.
Huh?
That's you should be. You could work
So-
with Paul Daniels or something.
So right now, when I'm fighting, I'm very concentrate
Yeah.
in this side. So this why my hand, or you know, when you're fighting, the stuntman can be missed.
Yes.
I really scared this side because
Because you.
I scared sometimes. Pop, pop, it's gone.
What about? But when you did the stunt, let me stop this for a second. When you actually had that accident, didn't you think maybe, well, look, I'm successful. I've made my money. I can't be any more famous, really. You are world famous already. Didn't you think maybe I'll give it up and have a nice, quiet life?
No, this is my life. I love to making a movie.
The opening sequence of Armour of God was filmed in the autumn of 1985 among the ruins of the 13th century Samobor Castle, located in Samobor, Croatia, which was then called Yugoslavia, about 30 minutes west of Zagreb. The crew made some minor alterations to the existing location, adding the large pedestal and idol head, which Jackie knocks over. The stunt in question involved Asian Hawk, fleeing from angry locals, having to jump from one castle wall, about 3 feet wide by 15 feet tall, to another some 20 feet away. In between was a tree, now long gone, which Jackie would grab, and it would bend with his weight to carry him to the landing wall. Jackie was not entirely happy with take one, as he sort of landed on his rear and then slid over the other side. It looked graceful on camera, but without waiting for the dailies to come back and view the shot, Jackie requested to repeat the stunt. He has claimed that he was a bit jet-lagged that day. Perhaps his grip on the second take wasn't as firm as the first. Others claim the branch itself was weakened by the first take and it simply wouldn't hold Jackie for a second attempt. Or maybe his hair was too short.